afternoon baseball now on a Southern California Sunday at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. Today, the finale of this three-game weekend series between the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, and guys, the Athletics played well in the series so far, winning the first two in this three-game set.
Yeah, and to sweep this team right here would be a huge momentum boost. It is not easy to sweep a series. I don't care if it's 3 games or 4 games. I think back to Bobby Cox. His big thing was you just want to win series. 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. But when you have a chance to sweep a team, you have to take advantage of it.
Jose Quintana, the Colombian native, gets the call to start this one. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Well, one thing to look out for him, Matt, is if he can avoid the big inning. It's not that big of a deal to give up a run here or there, but sometimes he can be prone to giving up 3 or 4 in an inning, and that kind of derails the whole start when that happens. Limit the damage, and he'll be just fine.
Here it comes now to Andrus.
First pitch, 107.
The windup and the 0-1. Swings through it for strike number 2. Here's a high pop-up. Walsh waits on it. He's got it 1 away. And here's a shot of the Athletics starting lineup for this one. Who stands out to you, Danny?
You know, this lineup is really needing a lot more out of Elvis Andrus these days. He struggled the last 2 games. Only 2 hits in the series, but he's a guy you can't let down on. One swing can get him hot and right back into a groove.
Here's Jed Lowry now, as he'll take a changeup here for strike 1. These Angels, as they enter play here this afternoon, fellas, they are in the midst of a pretty bad stretch as they've dropped 6 straight coming in. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Good curveball there, gets the swing and miss. So let's take a peek at our umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Gary Simmons.
Dero, this Gary Simmons, he's the kind of umpire that pitchers really like to throw to.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, though, Dan. You want to go east-west, I'll make the adjustment. It's the north-south that'll kill you.
Upton is going to get there as he backs up to put it away, and there are 2 gone now.
He got that one pretty good. It just didn't have the right launch angle to carry over the outfield. That could have made all the difference.
So that brings up the always intense Matt Chapman. And he comes in as a player to watch out for, hitting well over 300 on the season. A ball and a strike to count to Matt Chapman. Here comes the 1-2. Is a wave and a miss. He struck him out. 1-2-3 go the A's. A's 0. Angels coming to bat. It's Major League Baseball on the show. Frankie Montas gets the ball for Oakland in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
One of the things that jumps out, if you look at that stat sheet, a very high whip coming into this start. One of the things he's going to have to do a much better job, keep traffic off the bases, keep the walks down, try to limit the amount of hits. He's had a rough go of that so far this year. Let's see if he can turn it around in this one.
And leading up for the
now to bat, David Fletcher. And as you can see, he's had some troubles here in his own ballpark. It's something he'll look to improve upon in this one. First pitch on the way. And Dan Dero, these A's, as they begin play here this afternoon, they've been playing some pretty good baseball of late as they've won 6 of their last 8 games.
Yeah, Matty, without question. They find themselves in this position today. They got a chance to sweep the series on Sunday and make it a miraculous weekend.
Boy, D-Roll, it's always a nice way to finish off a weekend. You win a big game on Saturday, and to close it off with a win here and a sweep on Sunday would really be sweet for this ball club.
Chapman is under it, and that's the first out of the inning.
Batting second.
Here's a look now at the Angels starting lineup. D-Roll, what's your take as they look to end their losing streak?
Yeah, Matty, this lineup has just gone cold. It happens from time to time, but somebody's going to have to create a spark. Hopefully it's with the first two guys in the batting order.
In now is John Jay, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike one. He'll check in with an average still south of 230. 1 home run, 9 driven in. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Behind 0-2 now. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Pulled toward right center field. Long run for the right fielder. He makes the play. Really had to hustle to get to that one. 2 gone now. Now to the plate, Mike Trout, lifetime versus this pitcher. He's just 2 for 12. First pitch of the AB on its way. And it's fouled away.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
Behind 0-2 now. Here it comes. Down the left field line and deep. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Now a big swing by Trout, and he connects on this one. That's out to deep left field. And that one is gone on a 2-strike count with 2 away in the inning. It's a solo home run here for Mike Trout, number 13 for him on the year, as the Angels take a 1-0 lead.
What a way to start this one off. Scoreless top of the frame, and you answer with a bomb in the bottom of the first.
In now is Anthony Rendon, as he drives a liner to right center. And that finds some outfield grass. It's a base hit.
Loud noises right here, fellas. Hey, he's going to have to mix it up a little bit more because they are on his stuff.
Justin Upton the next to hit. And he fouls this one off. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. Comes set and the 0-1. Now a bunt attempt here. Carr is there and he makes the catch for the out. Angels hit the board first thanks to this solo home run. Second inning coming up, and the Halos are off to an early 1-0 lead. That'll bring up the power hitter, Matt Olson. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. Oh, and he overshoots his first baseman as it's over his head.
And that play is indicative of how their entire season has gone so far. They make the routine plays difficult, and if there's a tough play, they really struggle with it. They need to tighten up their fundamentals so they can get back on track.
Next, it'll be Ramon Laureano. And he's a guy really in need of something to click at the plate right now. It's been a rough go for him. He's set. Here it comes. There's a breaking ball that he didn't quite get on top of. Well, today's game provides the visiting squad with a chance to complete the series sweep, guys.
Sure does, and it's always difficult to sweep and win a series on the road, especially when you're playing a division opponent.
Of course, in order to achieve said sweep, they'll need to overcome this early one-run deficit.
When you're playing as well as this team is right now, they've got them right where they want them. They're only down one early in this one, and when you've won a couple of games in a row already, you have that feeling you can certainly come back and win this one.
And he takes a big swing here, but this winds up a little tapper to the left of the mound. Throws in time, and that's out number one.
Batting sixth, the right fielder.
Here's how the Halos are going to line up on defense. And we have to focus on one of the best players in all of our sport, Mike Trout, center fielder. Just as fun to watch him play defense as it is to watch him hit. This guy gets after it with his hair on fire. It's like watching a middle linebacker play center field.
So now it's Mark Canha. As with one away, he can't make contact on the first pitch. It's strike one. He'll start play with that average down in the low 230s. 6 home runs and 21 driven in. Swing, high drive, left field and deep. Looking up is Upton. A leap at the wall by Upton, but he can't bring it back. It's a home run. So a 2-run homer down the line in left. 7 home runs for him on the year now. And the A's have grabbed a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, with one out and a runner on third, he just wanted to lift one to the outfield to move across the run. But he does a heck of a lot more than that by lifting it right over the fence.
Stepping in now, Seth Brown. And he lays off there, 1-0. Here's a guy who could use a 3 for 4. He's got that batting average still down in the 190s. 2 home runs, 9 driven in. Upton's under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. So next it is Pete Carr, and the average isn't pretty, down into the roaring 220s to begin the ball game. It's a bit high with the fastball, but didn't get the call. 2 out, nobody on. And that's too high, ball 2.
And how about the uncommon patience for the rookie in a big spot right here? These have been some tough pitches to lay off.
2-1 to count. Into the windup and the pitch. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here now the 2-2. Swing and a ball hit out toward right center. Fletcher ranging into the outfield. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. But 2 come across to score in the inning, courtesy of this 2-run home run. On to the bottom of inning number 2. It's now 2-1 A's. Digging in will be Jared Walsh. He's 2 for 7 in the series so far.
Jared Walsh.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. A bouncer up the middle. On to first with it is Andrus, and it's in time, 1 away.
Batting seventh, not shortstop.
All right, guys, so here's how the Oakland A's are lining up on defense for this one. And, guys, taking a look at this defense is going to have to be stout today. Starting pitcher with an ERA north of 5 usually spells some barrels being found by the opposition. So these guys better be on their toes in this one.
At the plate now, Taylor Ward. As he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball 1. Lifetime versus this arm. He's a perfect 2 for 2. He's taken him deep once. And he takes a called strike 1. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Lowry ranging into the outfield. He gets there, and that's the second out.
Batting eighth.
Boy, he showed some pretty good range heading pretty deep into the outfield to bring that one down. Thought the outfielder might call him off, but he clearly had it under control.
In now, Kurt Suzuki. And he's first pitch swinging here as he lines this one into left field for a base hit.
Boy, just when you're looking for one of those shutdown innings, you get two quick outs, D-roll, then you give up a two-out base hit to extend the inning.
Yeah, you show me a big league ball player that's going to give away an AB. No chance. Everybody's in there grinding every at-bat, every plate appearance. Nice job. Maybe a little two-out lightning start.
Here's Dexter Fowler now. Late square, and this is popped up. Throw on to Olsen will take care of him at first, and that ends the inning. Angels leave one. They're down 2-1. Now into the box, Guy Tom. And he'll start out their half of the third. Top of the order to follow. First pitch on the way. And a curveball drops in there for strike one.
Hey, I don't blame him for giving up on that curveball. That was a rainbow coming out of the sky. Stole a strike.
Here's a pop-up now. And he'll stay with it here as he puts the squeeze on it for out number one.
Now batting, shortstop.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Elvis Andrus. He popped out in his first trip.
Yeah, I don't mind him trying to drive the ball in the air, but he can't collapse the backside, and that's exactly what he did in his last at-bat. Look for him to stay a little taller and keep that upper half a little bit more over him.
Andrus in an 0-2 hole here. Now a swing and a miss here as he's down on strikes, so it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the third.
The batter.
Base is empty, 2 away. And up next, the switch-hitting Stanford product, Jed Lowry. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. There's a curveball, but it misses well out of the zone. A 2-1 score here as we play inning number 3. Fouled away. Fouled off again, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. Curveball just about rung him up, but it's to 2-2.
Good job to lay off that 1-2 breaking ball, put himself right back in this at-bat.
Tapped up the first baseline.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Line to the right side. And a little self-preservation down at first as he pulls that one in to end the inning. A's are gone in order. They lead it 2-1.
Welcome back as the Angels look to get the offense going here in the third. And this is a lineup that has had its struggles this season. At the start of the day, they ranked towards the bottom of the league in both on-base percentage and runs scored. As one player put it, it's been a frustrating year because we feel we have a lot more ability than we're putting out right now. Another hitter told me they're working every day on having more disciplined at-bats, hoping that leads to better counts to hitting. We'll wait and see if the adjustments lead to results as the season progresses, guys.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
Angels, the second baseman, David.
First offering on its way. Here's the 0-1. Line drive to center field. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit. So it's a good start for the Halos as their leadoff hitter reaches base.
Now batting.
He's been cold. Batting average fell below 230, but that knock might have put him in a positive frame of mind. Hopefully that's the start of something big right now.
To the plate now, John Jay. He'll try to bunt his way on as he gets this one down. And the pitcher, in fact, will just take a bite out of this one, an infield single.
The center field, number 27, Mike Trout.
And that'll bring Mike Trout to the dish. As he takes strike one on the fastball here, no balls and a strike. He launched one over the wall back in the opening frame. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. And he reaches out for one and may have chased it as this is skied into the air to straightaway center. And he can't track it down. A base hit. And they're content to play station to station here as the bases are loaded now with still nobody out.
Boy, Dero, we're looking at a big inning right here with that single. Bases are loaded, yet no runs have scored in this inning.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that pitcher wants you to think. You have to eliminate the noise, Dan. Just try and drive in the guy from third base. Don't put pressure on yourself that you have to get everyone in with one swing of the bat. Pass the baton and keep the line moving.
He looks to do some early damage with the bases loaded. Both the tying and go-ahead runs aboard. Not cheated on that swing. The splitters by him opens 2. Oh, and it's not often you see a guy like that flail so badly up there, but that was a great pitch for out number 1.
Classic slider down and away for the strikeout there. Not a whole lot to say about that pitch that hasn't been said a million times already. That's just a real tough pitch for a hitter to pick up out of a pitcher's hand, so they end up chasing when they're in protect mode.
Now here's a fly ball. Well hit. Gone! It's a grand slam. So he will touch them all on the grand slam. 4th home run for him on the season. And just like that, it's now a 5-2 ball game.
Hey, you drive to the park and dream of coming through with a big knock with runners in scoring position. Bases loaded in that situation. Didn't try and do too much. They always tell yourself, calm yourself down and just get that guy in from third. He got them all in there.
You know, Dero, this is what makes it so tough to be a pitcher, right? You have them loaded, no place to put anybody. You make one bad pitch, and in one swing, 4 runs on the board. A huge swing in this one.
He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. Now a late bunt attempt here, but he misses strike 2. Late square, and this is popped up. But the throw will be in time at first, so he's denied the base hit on a bunt attempt. And now they've requested some time to take a look at the replay, and they may decide to challenge that out call.
Well, here's another look at it. It certainly was bang, bang. Wow, tough for me to tell on that look. Definitely a tough call for the umpire there.
Now the indication from the dugout, and they will use a challenge here. So we'll see what the replay operations center in Manhattan has to say about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Angels have elected to challenge.
All right, one last look at it here. The question is there enough evidence to change the call to safe? I think he did beat the throw.
The decision appears to have been made, and the runner is safe, so the call is overturned. Good challenge there, and they'll maintain the right to do so again later in the game if needed.
Upon video review, the call of out at first base has been overturned, and the batter ruled safe.
Into the box, Taylor Ward. Swing, and he pops him up. Andres onto the grass. He's there to make the catch, and wow, the runner breaks for second. And he thought better of taking that risk there as he retreats back to first safely.
The catcher.
Next to hit is Kurt Suzuki. He singled in his first AB.
Yeah, guys, everyone knows he's been slumping. Dan, you can certainly attest to this, only amassing a solid 1 hit in your entire career. But pressure's off now. Maybe he gets hot. Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
Ground ball left side. A diving effort here as he gets a glove on it. But they'll still manage to get the out on the force, and with that fine play, the inning comes to an end. But the damage was done right here as you get another look at the grand slam home run. We're through 3 here in Southern California. It's now 5-2 Angels. All set for the start of the 4th, and that'll give way to the third baseman, Matt Chapman.
This is where the pressure starts to build a little bit on an offense. It's not late enough. I mean, you don't have to start panicking right now, but this is where you're looking for someone to light a spark to get back in this game.
Hit softly on the ground to third. Throw to first in time. One gone here in the fourth.
Now batting.
So bases are empty with one gone, and that brings in the big power hitting first baseman, Matt Olson. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. High in the air down the right field line. He'll take this in without much trouble, and two are gone here to start the fourth. And that'll bring in Ramon Laureano. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. First offering on its way. Fourth inning here, already a 5-2 score. Fastball, and ooh, that went in and drilled him.
You know, with 2 outs and nobody on, that's the last thing you want to do on the mound. That really gives the opposition some hope that they can do something with this inning.
So 2 down and a runner at first, and striding into bat next, it'll be Mark Canha.
Yeah, Matt, and going back to that last at bat when he hit the homer, that was a fastball that was up in the zone. This guy likes the ball up in the zone, so if I'm on the mound right now, I'm thinking try to keep the ball at the knees and below. He doesn't handle that low pitch quite as well.
And he might have another one as this is hit high and deep out to left. And, oh, he missed a home run by a ball. The runner from first comes all the way around to score.
Boy, this guy's having a great game here so far, D-Row. Home run earlier in the night, and that base hit right there drives in his third run.
Drive to the park every day hoping your rhythm and timing is on point with that pitcher's windup, and that's exactly been the case.
A dive, and he knocks it down. And the run is in to score from third. And he'll reach first as they can't make the play on him.
No mistake what he was sitting on. Fastball, middle of the plate, kept his hands back, stayed through the baseball, and delivers a hard hit line drive.
Standing in now, Pete Carr. He'll swing and lift a ball fouled off to the left and out of play. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. The 0-1 pitch. Pitch is mishandled behind the plate and bounced away. And second here as he's moved into scoring position now after the passed ball.
And this is why you can't lose focus for a second when you're behind the plate. Any mistake a catcher makes has serious consequences. This is a pass ball, and the runner moves into scoring position.
Fouled off. 4 runs, only 3 hits, and no errors in the ballgame for the A's so far. Grounded down the third baseline. And that's a fair ball as this one gets by him at third. And the tying run comes around to score from second. It's now a 5-5 ball game.
Boy, there are big RBIs and big base hits, D-Row, but none more than with 2 outs. A big 2-out knock right there. Not only ties things up, but keeps the inning going as well.
Yeah, just a great approach right there by the batter. You never know when your number's going to be called. You always want to pass the baton.
And we'll just leave it there as they make the play to end the inning. So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and a man left. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. And we are all tied 5-5. Ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. And standing in is the veteran outfielder, Dexter Fowler. Here's the first pitch to him.
Fowler.
Now he'll try to bunt his way on base here, but this will roll foul. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Trying to bunt here, but this winds up hitting him. And they're going to say that he went after it. A strange strike, too. Driven to right field and deep. A ball that's carrying. And this one scoots all the way to the wall. And he will get there as the Angels are in business with a leadoff double.
Managers these days like to think of that 9-hole hitter as the second leadoff man, and he plays the role pretty well right here. Gets the leadoff double, and now he gives the real leadoff man a chance to bring him home.
But this will be speared at third, and that was self-defense all the way. One gone.
The designated hitter, number 9, John.
A man at second with one down, and that'll bring in the left-handed hitting John Jay. He's set, and the pitch. And this pitch just about saws him off as he can't get extended at all. It's strike one. Here's the 0-1. Well behind that fastball. It's a swinging strike.
2 mid-90s fastballs right there that he doesn't seem to think he can catch up to. I wouldn't be shocked if he came right at him again with another good one.
Got him swinging. Chased it well out of the zone, and there are 2 gone. Here's the center fielder, Mike Trout. He's off to a fast start in this one. 2 for 2, including a home run. First pitch on the way. Swung on, but it's pulled foul wide of third. Fowler at second with 2 down. And boy, big problems here to start this at-bat. It's 0-2 now.
Man, this guy's been locked in all game long. I don't know where that ugly swing just came from.
The 0-2. Slider whiffed on for strike 3. A great pitch to put an end to the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts keep him out of danger. We're back with more on a Sunday afternoon following this. Now to the plate, here is Elvis Andrus. He'll start off the 5th in this one. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Sliced hard on the ground, and this will get through into right, and he's aboard with a single. So there'll be a man aboard here to start out their half of the 5th.
The batter, 8, second base.
Take a look at this right here. He didn't get jumpy and try and pull it down the left field line. Stayed in there, fought hard, and grinded out a nice knock the other way.
And the off-balance throw beats him at first, and that's a tough play. And that'll bring in Matt Chapman. No hits to this point. Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Looking at his career totals, Chapman is carrying around his sparkling slugging percentage up over 500. Obviously a huge threat every time he grabs a bat. So 1-1.
Great job on those last 2 pitches of varying speeds. Gave him a hard fastball, and then he locked him up with a changeup.
Runner at second here with 1 man out. Into the corner and slicing foul. And this pitch is swung on and missed, and the AL's leading hitter is set down on strikes. 2 away.
Now batting, the first baseman.
So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Matt Olson. 0 for 2 for him to this point. First pitch coming. Here it is. And he pours this one in at the letters. 0-1.
When you dive into the numbers in this start, it's hard to believe that this guy's pitching as poorly as he has. Over 70% of his first pitches have been for strikes, but a lot of those have been right down the middle, right into the hitting zone.
2-1 to the A's first baseman.
Hey, curveball that kind of backed up on him right there. Might have popped out of his hand just a little bit earlier than he intended.
Ball even at 2-2. Even at 2-2. The pitch. Pulled high in the air out to right field. Fowler finds some space out there for the catch to retire the side. The A's strand 1. This ball game still tied 5-all. And digging in next will be Anthony Rendon. 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game.
Third baseman, Anthony.
Is ready. Here's the first pitch. Ground ball sent back up the middle. Gloved by Lowry. Throw on to first in time. 1 away.
Now
Here's Justin Upton now. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far.
Beautiful part about that home run ball is one swing, it can do a lot of damage. We're tied right now, but you can go back to that previous at-bat when he hit the grand slam and drove in 4 big runs.
You know, you love a guy who attacks the zone, but sometimes I think you could throw too many strikes. That could be the case right here. This offense is going to the plate, just pulling the trigger on everything.
Short, hit hard. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And no chance at a recovery here, as despite a great effort that time, they won't get it out on the play.
First baseman,
Nice effort by the shortstop right there. Kept it in front of him. That's all he could do right there, Dan.
You know, Dior, in a spot like that, that's an infield single. That's a tough play. Just to knock that ball down was a pretty good job. But any way you look at it, that should be scored a base hit, and I'm sure it was.
Halfway to 100 pitches, here it is. Trying to bunt his way aboard, but this will get foul. Upton stands at first with 1 out. And he's bunting here with 2 strikes, but he misses, and that's a rather weak out number 2. Next to dig in, Taylor Ward. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Good slider there, and he gets ahead of him 0-1.
Hey, he's done an amazing job of settling down. 2 innings ago, I thought they were going to run him out of here. But now he's close to posting 2 shutout innings as a response.
0-1, here it comes. Look out, and that'll give him a close shave.
Well, that'll wake everyone up. Anytime you buzz the tower like that, there's reason for people to start getting a little bit edgy.
Angels shortstop behind in the count at 1-2 strikes. Got him swinging, and that's the 3rd out. Angels strand 1. This remains a 5-all ball game. Stepping in once again is Ramon Laureano. He'll be the one to start things out for Oakland in their half of the 6th inning. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. And he throws the fastball by him here. 0-1.
Well, he kind of tipped his hand right there. His approach is obviously sitting on the off speed because he was so late on that first pitch heater.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Line, but speared on a hop. Throw to first gets him, so the leadoff man's retired here to begin the 6th.
the right fielder, number 20.
Now it'll be Mark Canha, delivered an RBI single last time up. First pitch on its way. One out, nobody on. And it's fouled away. And he fouls this one off. Heading out towards shallow right. Fowler has a read on it. He hauls it in without any trouble, and there are two away.
Now batting.
Striding forward now is the DH, Seth Brown. He's singled in 2 trips to the plate thus far. On its way is pitch number 75. Swing and a liner. And no trouble for him as he makes the catch to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the A's. Our score holds at 5 apiece. Cole Irvin is out from the bullpen now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and that'll bring in the veteran catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
The catcher, Kurt.
Now a ball lined to the left side, but that'll land foul, strike 1. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Weak grounder back to the mound. Throw to first is in time for the first out. So with one away, a couple of teams out of the AL West doing battle in this one. So let's check out where they sit in the standings entering play here today. Digging in next, Dexter Fowler, 1 for 2 with a double on the ledger so far. Here's the first pitch to him. And he pops him up, drifting toward the left side of the infield. And there's out number 2. Back to the top of the Angels lineup now, and stepping in, David Fletcher. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. First pitch on its way. Pops this one up. Chapman trying to get there. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. Angels down quickly there on just 4 pitches. This ball game still tied 5-all. And now Pete Carr. First offering on its way. And a fastball's in there for strike 1.
Stuff has never been a problem with this pitcher. It's execution and location that has always been his bugaboo. And that's exactly what happened here. I know he's ahead 0-1, but he's finding the harder to plate way too often.
Protecting on 0-2, so we'll do it again. And a fastball is hit on the ground towards short. Fielded cleanly, and the throw to first is in time, so the leadoff man is gone here to start inning number 7. Batter will be Ka'ai Tom. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. On his way toward the mound now is skipper Joe Madden, and he's going to make a change, as that'll do it for Jose Quintana. So a no decision here this afternoon, as it'll be up to the bullpen from here on out. Taylor Cole comes on to pitch here with 1 man gone in the top of the 7th. And now the first pitch. Here's a fastball that he shoots on into left center, and that'll fall for a base hit. Here's Elvis Andrus now. He squares it up and hits a bolt to left center, and that's into the outfield for a 1-out base hit. And they'll have runners at the corners following the 1-out single.
Boy, D-Roll, when you're starting to swing it like this team is, doesn't matter. They bring in a new relief pitcher, right? And he gets greeted with back-to-back base hits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to do. In today's day and age of bullpen down your throat, you very rarely see back-to-back knocks when these guys are throwing smoke.
That's one of the keys, too. When you come in facing guys out of the bullpen, they're being taught to throw strikes early, and they're taking advantage of it. He's throwing strikes, and they're jumping all over him.
And he pops it up. Here comes Upton, and this will not be caught. It's a foul ball.
That's a real nice location with that fastball up and in on the hands. Hard to do much with that because the hitter really can't extend his arms very easily.
Throw on to first for the second out, but meanwhile that all-important go-ahead run is in to score.
Really good job of putting the ball in play right there. Even though it wasn't a base hit, it does bring the go-ahead run for his team.
Next to stand in is Matt Chapman. It's been a rough go of things at the plate for him so far. We'll have to leave it there as the play is made for the 3rd out. 2 hits lead to a run here for Oakland. Bottom of the 7th now from Anaheim. Get up and stretch. Oakland is on top in this one, 6-5. Bottom of the inning now, and that'll bring in the left-handed hitting John Jay.
The designated hitter, John Jay.
First pitch coming, here it is. Grounded softly to the right. And that's the first out. Yusmeiro Petit takes the mound now, and it appears he's being brought in to face the right-handed batter who waits next.
Yeah, you usually don't hear the term righty specialist very often, but that's kind of how they're using him here, Matt. Most hitters have a harder time against pitchers of the same handedness, so we'll see if this move pans out.
From the stretch, fouled away. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Angels so far. And he falls behind 0-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone.
Well, there's the great equalizer, the changeup, El Cambio. Listen, if you can keep that pitch in your back pocket and pull it out when you need it, like he did right there, usually hitters, they don't stand a chance.
So now to the plate, Anthony Rendon, as he'll send a ground ball down to third. Throw on to Olsen will take care of him at first, and that ends the inning. Angels go down 1-2-3. Still a tight ball game. It's 6-5. Start of the 8th on its way, but first Heidi Watney standing by with this report.
Well, Matt, I talked to manager Bob Melvin during the break about his thoughts on the A's hitters to this point. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. He told me it feels like every ball they've put in play has been a laser, and the numbers back that up. 6 of their hits have come off the bat at 90 miles an hour or harder, guys.
Thank you, Heidi. Ready to begin the 8th, and next to bat will be the first baseman, Matt Olson. Not surprisingly here, this is on the ground to the right side. And, the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and he'll reach it first.
This is a head-scratcher. I mean, that's the shortest throw on the infield, and somehow he lets it sail wide of the mark for an E4. A couple more like that, and doubt starts to creep into the second baseman's mind.
Ramon Laureano swings and misses there, so he's down 0-1. And now he'll foul this one off as well to fall behind here. No balls and 2 strikes. Out in front there as this one's pulled off to the left side. The next 0-2. This is skied into short left center. Upton's under it. 1 down. And he will hustle back to first as he thinks better of trying to move up. Mark Canha will dig in again, and as he does, we'll flash you back to inning number 2 as you get a look at his 2-run homer that was a big blow early on. First pitch on its way. Hit hard to the right. This gets foul. It's 0-1.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a big pitch for him today.
And this is pop foul, but perhaps playable behind first. Just foul. And a swing and a miss as they got him with the slider there, 2 away.
Really good late bite on that slider right there. The best ones have that late action that just darts at the last minute. They're so tough to get the bat on, and when you've got that good slider going, it's a great strikeout pitch.
Fouled off. Here comes the 0-1.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Down the third baseline. Fielded by Rendon. Throws there at first, so the error doesn't hurt him on the scoreboard as the inning is over. So it's no runs on no hits, 1 error, and a runner left stranded. Not too many more shots left. Home half of the 8th coming up. The A's lead this one 6-5. Striding in is Justin Upton. In previous matchups with Yusmeiro Petit, he's a .333 hitter. He also has 1 home run. First pitch coming. Here it is. No balls and a strike to count. The A's leading by the slimmest of margins late in this one and trying to hang on and earn the series sweep.
One of the keys if you want to sweep a team is you're going to have to get some big outs in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. They're leading by a run as we're going towards the end of this game. Now it's time for the pitching staff to put this one under wraps.
And a changeup swung on and missed for the first down.
People always talk about how important getting the leadoff man on base is, and it's true. So in the 8th inning of a one-run game, that's a really nice job of attacking a hitter and sending him packing.
J.B. Wendell and call now can get this one off inning without any trouble. Stepping in now, Jared Walsh, as he'll run up to bunt here, but misses for strike one. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Tries to drop one down here, but he misses. Strike two. And he's bunting here with 2 strikes, but he misses, and that's a rather weak out number 2.
Now batting, number 3.
So the next to bat will be Taylor Ward. First pitch of the AB now. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Right fielder giving chase. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. Angels are gone in order. This one remains close. It's 6-5. So now here is Pete Carr, grounded out in his last at-bat. Now here's the first offering. On the ground to third. Rendon is there. Throw on to first for the out, and that is how the 9th inning gets underway.
The left fielder.
Next, it'll be Kai Tom. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. The 0-1. Off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball. 1-run game here in the top of the 9th. And he takes a called strike 2.
Well, that's just a nice executed pitch right there. To have the confidence to go in, pound it inside. If he's got that, this team's in trouble.
And a swing and a miss here, and the first 2 are dispatched to begin the 9th.
Anytime you get rookies just breaking into the big leagues, you have to expect a certain amount of this. There aren't any easy at-bats at this level, and you really have to learn how to slow the game down in your head because everything feels like it's so much faster up here.
Elvis Andrus is in with 2 away here as this one swung on and missed for the first strike. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Got him to go after that one, and he's in a quick hole, 0-2.
Yeah, if he's going to pound the zone with this stuff all game, the offense better step up. Somebody's going to have to pull it.
And the second baseman is there to make the play, and that ends the inning. A's are gone in order. They lead it, however. It's 6-5. Trevor Rosenthal is the man called on to close this one and earn a save in the 9th. All set for the bottom of the 9th. And next to hit is the catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
The catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
First delivery to him. And that misses for ball 1.
You know, because this is just a 1-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
A ball and a strike to count to Suzuki. Ball and 2 strikes to the Angels catcher.
He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
Swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away.
When your closer comes in and strikes out the first guy he faces, everyone on the team can kind of take a deep breath. Still have 2 more outs to get, but retiring that leadoff guy is always huge when you're trying to shut a game down.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. Throw on to first is in time, and the Angels are now down to their final out. At the plate now is David Fletcher. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
We're going to see him throw that hard fastball early and often.
Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. Ball one. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. Angels down to their last strike. Looked like the fastball got away from him there. It's ball 2.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
And it's fouled away. Has them down to their final strike. Here it comes. Grounder down the line at third. But this is going to be a foul ball as that keeps things at 2-2. A punch out to end it, and the A's go on the road and sweep their division rivals in this 3-game series.
Well, these guys feel pretty good about themselves, and they should. Anytime you can come into somebody else's ballpark and sweep a 3-game tilt, you're doing something right. Great team effort.
A 1-run game, 6-5 the final today. The Oakland A's jumped ahead in the 7th inning and never gave the lead back. Cole Irvin claims the win out of the pen, his first. Trevor Rosenthal earns the save out of the bullpen, his 14th. So that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.
Here now is our final line score this afternoon. First, for the victorious Athletics, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 4 men on base. For the Angels, 5 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. They left 5 men on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 31 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.